Flattery is an ongoing situation where someone's constantly telling you truth, half-truths, and even lies to build you up and build you up and puff you up. We are not to deal with each other like that. That's unscriptural.
Building up a net.
We are to, right. And now I want you to focus in verse 3. What is Rav Shaul call words of flattery? What is the word he uses for words of flattery?
Illusion.
Huh?
Uncleanness.
What word?
Unclean.
And I tell you about non-kosher friends? Isn't that what we're talking about? Unclean friend? Non-kosher friends? Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yep.
Yahweh says, we do not deal with each other based on unkosher friendships. We deal with each other based on good things, praiseworthy things, and not things of flattery.
Baruch Hashem.
I said Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh.
We don't deal with each other based on flattering words. Because the mature believer, listen, the mature believer doesn't want to hear flattery. You know why? Wasn't there a group of Jews who were flattering the master? Wasn't there a group of Jews? On Sunday, or Yom Rishon, they were going, Hoshana, Hoshana, Hoshana on Yom Rishon. And then on Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, Yom Revi'i, on Wednesday, Yom Revi'i, they were the same crowd was yelling,
In the court.
crucify him.
Crucify him. Yes.
Crucify him. Away with this man. It is not fit that he should live. We have no king but Caesar. Was it not the same Judeans?
Yes. Same.
Was it not the same group? The problem with flattery is the ones who are yelling Hoshana on Yom Rishon are yelling crucify him on Yom Revi'i. That's because you're trusting in man, a man or a woman who has a double heart. That means they themselves don't trust in Yahweh, and they are more than happy to get you not trusting in Yahweh, but trusting in their flattery, so that when you are despondent, when you are out of Valium, when you are out of lithium, you're going to call the flatterer. You will call the flatterer, because our flesh needs to be flattered. But if you know who you are in Yahweh, and you know who your Father is, and He wants to strengthen you and mold you into the image of His Son, Yahshua, you'll call Him and hang up the phone.
Amen.
As it is written, David comforted himself in Yahweh. As it is written, he said, Father, let me not fall into the hands of man, but I will rather let me fall into the hands of Yahweh. 2 Shmuel 12. Let me fall into the hands of Yahweh. Because Yahweh is your comfort. The Ruach HaKodesh is even called the comforter.
Amen.
Yahweh will comfort. False friends, flattering friends will flatter. And keep in mind, again, it is the same spirit, the tool. Turn to your neighbor and say tool. Ay, ay, ay. Let's try that again. Tool. No good. Let's try that again. Tool. It is the same tool used by the anti-Mashiach to get the world to break Yahweh's covenants. Think about that.
Yep.
The danger in having a flattering friend. It's the same tool that used by the anti-Moshiach.
Yep.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Unkosher friends. Flattering friends. Rav Shaul says, sorry, we didn't come this way. We came teaching and preaching the good news, the Besarot, and we did it out of love, we did it out of compulsion, we did it out of commitment to Yahweh, and we don't get our attaboys from you, Thessalonica. We get our attaboys from the Ruach HaKodesh.
Amen.
Learn, brothers and sisters, when the whole world is turning in on you, when the whole world is closing in on you, learn to get your atta-girls and atta-boys from the Father of lights, in whom there is no
Hallelujah.
variableness or shadow of turning.
Yahweh. Yes. Amen.
Learn to get encouraged and built up and comforted in Yahweh.
A friend who stay closer than one. Hallelujah.
Number 1, flattering friends.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Be careful. Number 14. Number 15, correct?
Yes.
Number 15. And we'll go quickly with this. Unkosher friends. Rebellious friends.
Spirit of witchcraft.
Rebellious friends. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Go with me please to 1 Corinthians 1:10. 1 Corinthians
This is good.
1. Thank you, sister. 1 Corinthians. And I'm going to take some time because we had 3 or 4 testimonies and 3 or 4 announcements. So we're going to go a little longer than usual, but just relax. Everything will be okay. 1 Corinthians 1:10. Watch this. I appeal to you, brothers. I appeal to you, brothers, by the name of our Master Yahshua HaMoshiach, that you all agree that there be no divisions among you, but that you be knit together in the same mind, in the same opinion. For I have been informed concerning you, my brothers in Corinth, that there are those of the house of Chloe, that there are strifes among you. What I mean is this. Each one of you says, I am of Shaul, I am of Apollos, I am of Kepha, or I am of Mashiach. Has Mashiach been divided? Was Shaul crucified or impaled for you? Were you immersed into the name of Shaul? These friends liked different authorities. I'm talking about rebellious friends. A rebellious friend, they could be in the shul. They could be born again. They could be washing the blood. They could read their Bible 10 hours a day. They can fast and pray until the cows come home. But they can still have a rebellious attitude. They can still have a rebellious spirit. How so? How can someone love Yahweh, be born again, come to shul every Shabbat, follow the things of Yahweh, keep the Moedim, keep kosher? How can that person be a rebellious friend? I'll tell you how. In Corinth, was Corinth a carnal congregation? Yeah, they sure were. Corinth was a carnal congregation, were they not? And one of the things they did is they divided their congregation into cliques based on different authority figures. Someone who's rebellious, it's obvious. We're not talking about the obviously rebellious. Oh, forget the rabbi, forget the rebbitzin, forget the teacher, forget the police officer. I'm led by the Ruach, I'm just doing my own thing. Nobody can tell me what to do. The police officer can't tell me what to do. The probation officer can't tell me what to do. I don't have to check in with my probation officer. I'm born again, I'm brand new, I'm forgiven. Yahweh loves me. I don't have to do any of that stuff. Okay? That's easy. We got to stay away from rebellious people. For rebellion is as the sin of, 1 Shmuel 15, witchcraft. I'm not talking, that's obvious. You don't want to have rebellious friends like that. That's obvious, because they'll get you into trouble and pull you away from Yeshua. I want to talk about these kind of friends, listen, who appear to be in favor of authority, who appear to be submitted, who appear not to have a problem with authority, but listen, they do not like the assigned authority. I can listen to Roberta, but I can't listen to Abraham.
Wow.
Okay, I can listen to Linda, but I can't listen to Rebitz and Rivka. See, these folks were assigned authority. You with me? And they ran from their assignment, feigning how they were submitted to divine government, feigning how they were submitted to the kingdom of Yahweh, feigning how they were submitted to the things of Yahweh, but in fact, they were not really happy with the authorities that Yahweh had put in their life. But they say, hey, I'm submitted. I'm submitted to this place. I'm submitted to the congregation. Yeah, until the rabbi or someone else tells you something in authority, tells you to do something that you don't happen to agree with. Then you're gone. Now you're not submitted anymore. Or the attitude, I could submit to that person, but I can't submit to him. So the rebellious friend that Yahweh warns us about is a person who rebels against authority by rebelling against their assigned authority. And then turning around and saying, but I'm not rebellious, I could submit to their authority, but not to that one. And guess what? We don't get to choose what authority Yahweh puts us under in divine government. In divine government, in the kingdom of Yahweh, we don't get to choose our authority. I don't want anyone in this congregation to come here anymore unless Yahweh has planted you here. Because if Yahweh hasn't planted you here, you're going to be trouble for me. Maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe the week after, you're going to be trouble for me and for my wife and for this congregation.
Under some other authority.
But if Yahweh has planted you here, don't you dare move. Even when you don't agree with what things are going on, even when you're not 100% content, even when you're not 100% happy, even when you don't 100% understand, don't you dare move from here. if Yahweh planted you here.
Amen.
First you got to determine if Yahweh planted you here.
Baruch Hashem.
So these folks were saying, we're planted in Corinth. We're planted in the Messianic Assembly in Corinth. But we can follow Kepha, but not Apollos. Those who were following Apollos said, oh, we could follow Apollos, but we can't follow Shaul. Hello? Those who were following Shaul said, we can follow Shaul, but we can't follow Apollos. And so the congregation was divided, which, by the way, is why you don't have 5 rabbis that lead a congregation. Why you don't have 6 co-equal elders who all have... People want to know, well, how come we can't have a board of co-equal elders and everybody's equal? Because that's not the way divided government works. Okay? And the ones who do have, like, a board of the brethren, it sounds so good, it sounds so spiritual, it sounds so right on. Well, we have a home fellowship, Rabbi Moshe, and everybody's equal. We have a board of brethren, and the group is run by the brethren. Read my lips. It's just a matter of weeks till they disintegrate. Okay, there's got to be a chain of command.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
There has to be an authority figure.
Yes.
There has to be. Okay? And so authority figures are spoken against. Authority figures are easy to submit to when they are not assigned to you by Yahweh. Is anyone with me? So these friends in your life are rebellious friends. They appear to be submitted to the authority figures, but not the ones they've been assigned to, the ones of their own choosing. Problem with authority is you don't get to choose who the authority is. When you're promoted to 3rd grade, you find out in 3rd grade who your teacher is. You don't get to go to summer school to get a clue and a head start and find out who your teacher is.
That's right.
When you show up the first day of school in 3rd grade, you'll find out who your teacher is. Are you with me? When you dial 911, you don't get to choose an Irishman showing up at your door to do first aid. You can't ask for a white, Irish, Anglo-Saxon with blue eyes. When you dial 911, you don't know who shows up. Right? So authority figures we don't get to choose often. They're assigned to us by Yahweh. And so a rebellious friend feigns submission, but in truth, they just can't deal with the authority that they're under. And they cause splintering among the people of Yahweh. With me?
Yes.
If someone is really submitted to Yahweh, they will submit to the authority Yahweh has given them.
That's right.
They won't complain, they won't backbite, they won't tell you that they're submitted to authority when they're not. I have people tell me, Rabbi, I'm here, I'm submitted to your authority. Yeah, until you say the wrong thing, you look at them the wrong way,
You're out of here.
or something, they're gone. And then they call the other people in the congregation up, and they become friends, and they go, well, I can submit to Roberto, I can submit to the Rabbi, I can't submit to Rifka, I can't submit to Terry, I can't submit to anybody. In other words, they always claim they could submit to authority, but it just so happens they're having problems submitting to the authority that they're currently under. Is any of this making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
In other words, if I got a new job and I had to submit to the authority of my sales manager, I can do it. But this trucking manager that I've got now, he's a bum, and there's no way I'm submitting to him. But if I had the right manager, I could submit. Okay? Or the right carpenter. If I was a carpenter and I had a carpenter who was a boss, I could submit. But I can't submit as a teacher because this principal, I can't submit to this principal. That's not authority submission. That person is a rebellious person. Is everyone with me?
Yes. Amen.
If you're a teacher, well, if I get transferred to another school, I can submit to their authority, but I can't submit to this principal. Yahweh says, this is the principle I put you under,
Right.
and until you submit to this
Amen.
principle, you are a rebellious person.
That's right.
Are you with me? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So we have to avoid friends who rebel against authority. Go with me to Romans, please. Book of Romans. Is anyone enjoying?
Yes.
I said, is anyone enjoying?
Amen.
Romans, Romanos, chapter 1, verse 29. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Romans 1:29. Having been filled with all unrighteousness, whoring, wickedness, greed, evil, envy, murder, fighting. Circle that word, fighting. What was happening in the Messianic community of Corinth?
Division.
They were fighting over whose authority they wanted to be under.
Yes.
If you've got friends who think they could be under the authority they want to be under, they can't, but they're not submitted to the authority they're assigned to, they are rebellious friends. You are to be careful of friends who cannot submit to the authority that Yahweh has put them under. You with me? Making sense?
Yes.
So those who are fighters, notice, who cause division, verse 32, go down to verse 32, who though they know the righteousness of Elohim, that those who practice such things deserve death. Not only do they do the same, but approve of those who practice the same. So not only are they divisive and rebellious, they look for others who do the same. See, that's a problem with unkosher friends.
Wow.
Unkosher friends will look for others who are doing the same thing.
Yes, wow. Look at that.
You with me?
Uh-huh.
Making sense, right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Wow.
Now you're going to love this one. Go with me to 2 Corinthians. So be careful of friends who claim to be under authority, but every time in their life they're running from the authority that they're under. They're looking for an authority that they can be under, but never seem to find it. So they wind up staying home. They're out of fellowship.
Right.
Well, how come you're not in fellowship?
Right.
Because I can't find someone that I could submit to. Well, what about the divine authority? Means Yahweh has put you under somebody's authority. It's not up to you and I to choose. And if you've got friends that choose their own authority, watch it. You've got an unkosher friend.
Yeah.
It's not, in the kingdom, we don't choose our authority. Yahweh puts us under authority. Are you with me?
Yes.
2 Corinthians 12.
Thank you, Father.
2 Corinthians 12. Verse 20. 2 Corinthians 12, 20. For I fear lest when I come, I do not find you such as I wish, I be found by you such as you do not wish, lest there be strife, circle that word, strife, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambition, slander, gossip, puffing up, unrest, lest when I come again my Elohim should humble me among you, I will mourn for you, for many have sinned before, and have not repented of the there's that word again, uncleanness, strife against authority, rebellion against policemen, firemen, civil, civic, or ecclesiastical, is uncleanness and indecency, which is akin to whoring. Now look at the end of verse 21. Those who practice division, strife, as believers, against the assigned authority in their life, Yahweh says it is an unclean practice of whoring and indecency. Because you know what you're saying to Yahweh? I won't submit to what you did, what you put in my life.
Oh, kosher.
I don't want this authority. Now, if you give me another authority, I can submit to that. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Be careful of friends who claim they're submitted to authority, but they won't submit to the authority Yahweh has put them under. They won't submit to their husband. They won't submit to their employer. They won't submit to the people that are already over them in society, but they're telling you that they can submit given the right situation. Yahweh says these. And why all these splinter groups in Corinth? Why? There was one congregation followed Apollos. One group followed Rav Shaul. One group followed Kepha. How did that happen? Because they were rebellious individuals who did not submit to Yahweh's authority that He had assigned in their life. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And watch those friends. They talk submission, but everywhere you turn, they're never submitted. They're lone rangers.
Lone Rangers.
Lone rangers, spiritual Rambos,
Right.
hoppers. And by the way, hopping, now I'm going to step on somebody's toes.
Oh,
Turn your neighbor and say, your toes.
Not yours, right?
Everybody's
Congregational hopping
I know
is
you.
a sign that you cannot submit to the authority Yahweh has placed in your life. Wednesday night, you're there. Tuesday night, you're there. Shabbat, you're here checking this. What are you doing checking this out? Either we're right or wrong. How long does it take you to check it out?
Right.
And how long's this been going on?
Ah.
Thank you, brother.
Ay, ay, ay.
Listen to Ted, he's right. How long have you been in the checkout counter?
Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, that hurts.
Okay? So we've got friends in our life, and go home tonight. Yahweh will show you who those friends are. They're your friends, you call them, you write them, you email them, you're in constant contact with them. But the problem is, they are always hopping around. So that hopping, in the church we used to call it what? Church hopping, is a symptom of a problem, an underlying problem. And one of the problems is, A, you're afraid people will get to know you and won't like you, so you keep hopping.
Yes.
Or you got a problem with the authority Yahweh put you under because you see the man or the woman's flaws and you can't see the grand picture, how you're part of a greater family where Yahweh has caused you to flourish and prosper. And then you say, well, you don't understand, Rabbi, I have a ministry to the church. You show me that in the scripture. Yahweh says, come out of it.
Yes, that's
You want
right.
to do ministry? You want to do ministry to people that are in prison? Do it in the coffee shop. Do it in McDonald's. But don't go into those systems that Yahweh will destroy. Those are false religious systems.
That's right.
And so hopping is a sign that a person, while claiming to be submitted to authority, may be an unkosher friend. And it says here, it's an uncleanness. Those who cause strife, those who cause unrest against authority, look at verse 21, is an unclean, unkosher practice. Is anyone with me?
Yes.
Go with me to Mishle 6. Go with me to, is anyone enjoying?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I apologize, we had a lot of announcements, we had ministry, but please, you gotta stay with me, because there's some important things
What
here.
about it?
Amen?
Amen.
Mishle 6. Mishle 6. Verse 19. Mishle 6, verse 19. Actually, if we go back to the beginning of Mishle,